Hunter x Hunter chapter 394, plan. So the past few chapters have all been kind of focused on the Healy family, and this chapter again is just planning on how to deal with them because they're causing so much trouble in this succession war. The boss of the Healy family, Morena Prudo, she don't really care about this succession war. She just wants to kind of kill off everyone. We got a lot more insight into Tsure Donihi, who is the fourth prince of the Kakin Empire. Just a pre-warning about these chapters and, you know, the last bulk of chapters. Scratch that. Just post-anime, just this whole succession war thing. Like, it's crazy how far Togashi plans to take this. Like, because there was a 3-year break, I was kind of not worried, but I was thinking, is he just gonna blitz through this succession war arc and think, fuck it, let's get to the Dark Continent? But no, he's sticking to his guns. Like, the scope of this conflict just keeps on widening and widening and widening. Like, because the Kakin Empire is like a piece of land somewhere in the Hunter world, you know, like on the continent, and it's just so convoluted. Because there's like 3 large mafia families within the Kakin Empire. Tsuren Donihi is the benefactor to the Healy family. They're kind of beefing each other. There's all these other family members beefing each other in the succession to become king. And, you know, there's also police, civilians, military. Like, there is so much going on. Like, it's kind of brain boggling, deciphering the chapters like properly and just enjoying the story. However, at the same time, it is a very nice read. We get so many different point of views from people, Nen users, non-Nen users. It just feels very realistic on everything what's going on. It is a little jarring sometimes though. Like in this chapter, we saw a lot of people still hearing about Nen for the first time. Like, it feels like years ago, because it was years ago when Kurapika announced that, you know, Nen's a thing over the Tanoid. And but yeah, a whole lot is happening in the succession war, and there's still so much more to come. Let's just hope and pray that Togashi eventually manages to finish this one, you know. Well, but wait, we still gotta get to the Dark Continent. I guess the succession war, this arc, you know, would culminate in the Dark Continent, and this is just the intro to, you know, the Dark Continent is the succession war. It has to be, because there's so much happening in this current arc, you know. But anyways, this chapter starts off just where the previous chapter left off. So Hinrigi and Kenny Wang got tipped off about the leader of the Healy family in like a secret room somewhere on the ship. Obviously this old dude is not the leader of the Healy family. The Healy family leader is Morena Prudo. But yeah, this old dude's body just kind of disappeared and stuff, and then Hinrigi was trying to say, yo, nobody run in the room. Of course, some dude runs in the room and he disappears. They thought it was going to be Luini, who took him using his like teleporting Nen ability, but you know, that nigga died last chapter. Like, Nobunaga stabbed him straight through the forehead, and let's mention again here now. So the little dude that gets nabbed, you know, he just gets dealt with real quick by some Healy family members or like underlings, and it's the same group of people that were kind of upset to realize that Luini was killed. They're all like trying to become emitters, like they're all like receiving like new Nen abilities now. There's mention of a steward they left in the VVIP area with Tsurendanihi, and it seems like the steward has gone quiet, so they feel like Tsurendanihi might be onto them. We see Morena Prudo talking to some of her underlings, and she's just confirming that Tsurendanihi definitely wants to kill her, but seeing as the succession war's going on, like they have no way of telling when he might make his move. And she wants to infect one of his soldiers with her Nen ability, and we do meet some of his soldiers later on in the chapter, so that's obviously Loki's set up for her to do that to one of his soldiers. The chapter then cuts to some of Tsurendanihi's soldiers barging into a room, finding a dead body, and then just saying that it's good they found a dead body, how it can justify their forced entry. And I mentioned again, military, police, mafia, royalty. Like, it's so convoluted. If a murder's filed under a mafia-based civilian murder instead of an act of rebellion, you know, things can get out of hand. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of talk. So yeah, the people underneath the fourth prince, Tsurendanihi, they feel like they need to go and get Moreno before, you know, she gets them. So one of the soldiers says to his higher up that if the Healy family has one or more Nen users, wouldn't it be best to come up with a plan to counter them? And again, it's like, you know, the higher up dude, he still don't know what Nen is. He's like, Nen, what's that? And, you know, they're explaining to them it's, you know, it's like a special weapon that's, you know, more dangerous than guns and stuff. And but they all seem pretty smart, like these soldiers, like they're thinking outside the box and stuff. And they also seem to know the prince pretty well. They say that knowing the prince, there's only one reason he delayed getting revenge on a traitor. He must have found a new toy. And obviously, in the previous chapters before the hiatus, we saw that the prince is a natural at using Nen, and like he's super strong. He has a crazy Nen beast and stuff, and his abilities, you know, most comparable to Diavolo's King Crimson in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 Golden Wind. It's like if you lie to him, like he knows, and then he can just kill you or something crazy like that. So yeah, he's definitely shaped up to be like the main boss, most evil antagonist out of all the princes. Like it's kind of obvious. Like I really don't see him dying first or anything like that, like more than any of the other princes. So he's obviously gonna dead off Marina at some point. But yeah, these 4 young guards, they seem to have some sort of a relationship with the prince, or at least know a lot about him. They mentioned a story when he was younger. He had a gun disassembly and reassembly training in the 7th grade. And apparently he holed himself up in his room practicing without eating or sleeping until he beat the military school's fastest record. And there was some guy who was like good at it as well, and he said like, don't talk back to me or something if you can't beat my record. So when he beat the record, instead of talking back to him, he just shot him in the legs. And again, we just finding more out about this prince, like how twisted he is, how dark he is. There is an essence of morality, not morality, there is an essence of humanity to him though. Like, you know, these 4 soldiers all kind of really feel like he's a good guy at heart or something. That's the impression I'm getting. The higher up dude says like, you know, you guys are all really smart. Like, if you actually applied yourselves, you could be one of the prince's bodyguards or even the official royal troops. Why don't you? And they reply, oh, it's too much effort. And he says, you're a bunch of slackers. Like, I guess I'm the only one who cares about moving up. And then we see some internal dialogue from the young soldiers, and they're like, slackers, if I want to call myself his friend, should I be by his side, pestering him to change? I wonder. And say, we've been together since birth. It can't be helped. Like, how do we change him if he doesn't want to change himself? What can we do now? So they all seem to really love the prince, and you know, they've been together since birth. Apparently one of them says, the closer you get, the less of a friend you become. That's why we remain at the lowest ranks, the furthest away, shouting. So they all really care for the prince. They all kind of seem that he's, you know, twisted, talking about, you know, how do we change him if he doesn't want to change himself? So they clearly care deeply about him. However, like, you know, this nigga is a weird guy. And we get a picture of him stood over this person from his school having shot him in the leg. But yeah, we got some flashbacks to some older chapters, saying how shortly after the emergency broadcast resulted in the prince learning about Nen, one of his bodyguards started acting strange. But obviously we know this bodyguard is like friends with Kurapika, and he's filled her in on lots of things, and she's just really scared of his Nen ability and stuff because, yo, she might die if she ain't already dead. So yeah, the plan is, in order to protect themselves, they're trying to avoid Moreno Prudo at all costs, because obviously it's likely that she knows of their existence, because, you know, they said that they've had their tattoos done by the Haley family or some shit, so like their records are on their pages. Convoluted as fuck, right? But yeah, it is cool just getting different perspectives, all this shit. It's a really exciting, very deep, it's good. And like all the different Nen abilities and stuff, like Hinrigi, how he makes inanimate objects into living things with Nen, like he makes a camcorder into a cat, he makes handcuffs into pigeons and shit. Like it's dope. Like the action and all what's going on is a lot. But just, you know, 10 chapters a year, and then, oh, not a year, sorry, 10 chapters for a year, you know, throughout the year, and then off for over 3 years. It's, yeah, like, as much as I'm enjoying this, again, will we ever get to the end? Who knows? But it's best just to take it as it comes, enjoy the chapters as they come. You know, if you're a Hunter fan, like, why not? Like, because yeah, waiting for this shit to be done, whew, we don't know if that's gonna happen. So yeah, hopefully it will get done one day. Like, it's dope. So yeah, there's certainly a hell of a lot happening right now. But yeah, guys, I've been Nagirisi Weeaboo. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next week for the review of chapter 395. Peace.